Hello, Deepa. Is that how you say your name? I hope I pronounced that right. If not, I do apologize. But let's go ahead and get your reading knocked out here today, okay? So first and foremost, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for coming to me for a personal reading. I do appreciate it. I'd like to remind you before we get started that this here is an unlisted YouTube video, okay? Nobody can see this but you. Also, I'd like to let you know that I will pull as many spreads as needed to get as clear of a message through as possible. Okay? My readings don't have an assigned time limit. Every reading is very unique to the person who receives it. Therefore, it's whatever amount of time it takes for the message that you need to hear the most to come through. Okay? So having said that, let's read what you got here. Number 1, how is my love life going to be? Any shakeups, third-party influences? I am married for the past 17 years, but the past year has been painful, very painful for me and confusing. I really need clarity on what happened, how and why I let it happen, and what to expect moving forward. This sounds very familiar. Have you come to me for a reading before, by chance, or? 5 of Cups here. Sounds like a very familiar question. Let's get 5 shuffles. There's 1, 2, 3, 2 more. Two of Pentacles reversed overall. Knight of Cups, 9 of Wands, 8 of Swords. Looks here like it's not really saying what happened, like at all. I'm not seeing conflict. I'm not seeing third-party situations. All I'm seeing is a big lack of trust and somebody being manipulative. I'm going to have to pull another spread for this right here because I see right here with the World in the reverse where you feel like this cycle is left kind of like undone, basically. Last shuffle. Eight of Swords again. Second time that one's come up for you here. I see the Wheel of Fortune's in the upright again, but something happened in the past that was bad. Clarity on what happened, I'm not really 100% sure what happened. It's not telling me. It's not telling me. What it's looking like here is that nothing really happened, is what I'm seeing here. How and why you let it happen, I don't know what happened. It's not telling me anything happened here. What I'm getting, though, is that whatever it was that happened, I'm not even 100% sure, but it's the result of ignoring truths that hurt. Ignoring and trying to ignore facts, painful facts, over an extended period of time is what led up to whatever this happening is that you're talking about, which, again, for me, isn't coming through here. I'll be pulling one more spread, but so far I'm not seeing any happening here at all. I'm seeing negativity, a grudge from the past. I don't know, I think you're probably going to determine that the marriage isn't something you really want to work on. I think in the next 6 to 8 months, you're going to be determining that you're just not happy in the marriage and you don't really want to work on it anymore. And that you are going to look for other opportunities elsewhere is what I'm seeing here. But whatever it was that happened because it had to have been you. I'm not getting who this is. But somebody was ignoring very, very important facts and truths that very important facts and truths that should have been addressed a long time ago over an extended period of time is what I'm getting. Nine of Pentacles. 4 shuffles here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Two of Swords. 7 of Pentacles. You're contemplating abandoning this marriage, aren't you? You're contemplating on abandoning the marriage. Again, still not showing anything happening. The only thing that I keep getting here is that whatever this was that happened wouldn't have happened if certain truths were brought out and laid on the table a while back. And again, what is that? I don't know. See, because of the sheer volume of personal readings that I get, I can't flip on the psychic switch on command. Psychic messages do come through from time to time, but I have no idea how to turn it on. But it is very draining. So even if I could turn it on command, I simply would not have the energy to read psychically for every person that I read for, because it is incredibly draining. But also too, I think that Spirit probably only has it come through when it's needed. And maybe it's not needed. Maybe what this is that happened is so simple. So simple. It could have been, something about a person that you were suspicious of. You didn't speak on. Oh, well, this person does this thing, and my gut is telling me it means this. But you never said anything. Or, I have this funny suspicion that this person's lying about this thing, but you didn't say it. That's what I'm getting here. There's something that was kept in the silence for a long time. And whatever this happening was that you're speaking of here was basically that. Boiling over. If that makes any sense. That's all that's come through here. But I'm seeing that you're really strongly contemplating leaving the marriage. Okay, but I'm not really getting right here whether or not you're going to in the next 6 to 8 months. Unless there's a specific time frame assigned, my spreads have a default time frame of 6 to 8 months. And I see for the next 6 to 8 months at least, I don't see anything happening. I don't really see you actually leaving. I just see you're contemplating it. Okay? I started doing tarot card readings like literally a month ago. Things are going good, but I am not able to shake off anxiety and worry that sometimes I don't feel any connection to the spirits, and sometimes it's very strong. I don't know if this is the path for me. Do you see any future in tarot for me? Okay. Trying to think of what it was like back in the day. I remember when I very first started. The only reason I even started to begin with was I had a connection with a person, and it ended very abruptly. And there were some things that I wanted to know. Like I was, kind of the typical what brings people to tarot. But I only started reading to get clarity myself because I wanted a different answer. I didn't like the answer that the general readings on YouTube were giving me. So I figured, okay, well, I am so much of a perfectionist, and I want this done right, and I don't trust anybody else but myself. So I just bought cards and started playing with them myself. And no, you don't. I don't know about feeling a connection to spirits. You just pay attention to how the cards feel in your hand. Okay? And sometimes it's the faintest fucking whisper. Okay, stop shuffling. That card. Just the littlest whisper. Teeny. You just got to practice it and pay attention. Let's get 4 shuffles here. Because the fact of the matter is that whether you're a tarot card reader or not, you're connected to spirit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You don't need to read cards or whatever to be connected to it. So whether you feel it or not, it's not really going to affect the reading quite as much. I mean, it does a little bit sometimes, but I mean, even me, I don't always feel directly connected to it. Just turn the thinking brain off. That fear and that anxiety, that's too much thinking, too much worrying. You just cross your fingers, say what feels right, don't second guess it. And I see in the heart of the spread here, 6 of Wands, I do see that it could be very successful, absolutely. Okay, the Star card. Basically, there is not, like, and I know that you'll get a different explanation from every person, okay? But the fact of the matter is that the best readers out there are the people who do their own thing, you know? I mean, especially, I don't know how many tarot card readers you watch on YouTube, but you see how the people just, oh, good God, man, you know, they just do the cookie cutter, read the cookie cutter version of the cards, and, you know, and it's just like, man, that, I don't think that's, I can't follow a rule book, you know, not really. Very few rules. You have to do what feels right. As long as you do what feels right and trust yourself and stop worrying, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. I don't even remember what it was like to not be able to do it. It's so easy. It's like so second nature to me now, you know? Which 3 years ago, if you would have told me that I'd be, oh my God, I would have been like, what? I swear, I never, ever. But you just have to trust yourself. You have to quit questioning yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. That's what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking that Page of Swords reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed. You're trying too hard to figure this out logically. Okay, that's what it is. Connection to spirit. You're always connected to spirit. Always. Whether you feel it or not, whether you know it or not, whether you care or not, whether you believe it or not, you're always connected to spirit. There's no way to turn that off. You can't. You can ignore it. You can completely ignore your connection to spirit, but you can never, ever, ever unplug from spirit. Nobody can. Period. It's not possible. It's just not the nature of the existence. Period. Okay? So with that being said, I see you have the potential to be very successful doing it. You just gotta stop trying to figure it out. There's only so much information you actually need. Okay, and that is obviously the textbook meaning of the cards is very important. There's even a few cards that I still don't even remember the textbook meaning. Not really, not 100%. But getting a general knowledge for what the cards mean and take it from there. And then from there, just do what feels right. Do what feels right. It's not something you're going to be able to just do overnight. I think I was playing with cards. Let's see here. I don't remember when the hell I got my first deck. Probably at least 3 or 4 months before I started doing it on YouTube. I was playing with it myself. And again, all I would really do, what I would do is I would sit around and I would ask questions I already knew the answer to. That's how I learned what to do. I would ask a question about a person that I already knew what was going on in their life, already knew, you know, and I would say, okay, I'm gonna lay these cards out the best way it feels right. Like I'll be shuffling, and if I feel a card, if I feel it a little bit differently, if I feel it bend slightly in my hand, or if any card that catches my attention, I'm gonna lay it out on the table. And basically, here's the question I asked. I already know the answer. How is this telling me the answer? See what I'm saying? That's what I did. But again, it's different for everybody. Yes, to answer your question, I do see a future only if, this is the big if, big fat if, you stop worrying and stop beating yourself up and stop asking too many questions. You already know all the answers. Every single person does. The answers are all in you. Overthinking it is what sabotages it. And that's the part that's the hard part, is to flip the thinking brain off, to turn it off. So, can you tell me if we will buy a new house this year? Okay, let's see. Four of Pentacles reversed. Let's get 4 shuffles here. Ooh, 9 of Wands. 3 of Pentacles reversed. King of Swords. 7 of Wands reversed. High Priestess in the heart of the spread there. That's cool. The King of Pentacles reversed is the very last card in the spread. Okay, so for the first half of the year, I'm not really seeing, it doesn't really look like it. Not for the first half of the year. Unless I have a specific time frame assigned. Every spread of mine has a default time frame of 6 to 8 months. Okay, 6 to 8 months. For the first 6 months, the first half of the year, it's kind of looking like, no, not really. Probably not. I will go ahead and pull a spread for the last half of the year and see the way it sits in the moment. Oh, another very important thing to understand if you are a tarot card reader or a customer, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that we read is the energy as it sits in the current moment. You have the ability via thought, word, or deed to change the outcome if you choose to do so with your free will. Okay? Anybody does. You can change the outcome of any reading. But the way it sits in this moment, if you just leave the energy alone and let the vibrations keep going in the same pattern that they were without doing anything any differently, I'm not seeing anything happen for the first 6 months. Ace of Wands reversed overall. Oh, 7 of Cups reversed in the heart of the spread. 8 of Wands, 8 of Cups, but the Ace of Wands overall. I'm kind of feeling like probably not this year. The way it looks in the moment. I think the best offer that you have is probably at a distance from you, and you're looking at a lot of different options. Keeping your options open, but for something about long distance travel is something that I think you want to avoid, is what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing here. I'm thinking that you're looking at a bunch of different options, but yeah, I don't know if you want to pick up and move a long distance. That's what I'm seeing. So the way it sits in this moment, my cards are telling me that I don't see it happening this year. Unless you actually choose to get in there and manifest it, which you can. You can if you choose to. Other than that, though, if you don't, I don't really see it happening. Okay? So I'd have to give that probably a no. So anyway, I do feel like your messages have come through, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. I hope I gave you the clarity and the guidance that you needed. Keep in mind that what I read for you today was the energy as it sits in the current moment if left alone and untouched. You can change the outcome of any reading you receive from any person simply by changing your energy if you choose to do so with your free will. That's your natural born right as the powerful creative being that you are, because there is no such thing as a future written down in stone. If you ever want to schedule another reading, you are more than welcome to reach out anytime you want. If not, that's not a problem at all. I wish you nothing but the best of luck on your journey from this point forward, okay? I'm out of here now. Thanks again for coming to me, and you have a good day.